Till yesterday, we were talking about the yoga of works. And not only yoga of works, there is an adjective there, divine works. For divine works, we have 4 qualifications. What are those 4 qualifications? The first is nishkama karma. The work must be done without any desire. Next is, you should have an equanimity. That means you are not interested in the result. You are not affected by the result. Whatever may be the result, your quality of action will not change. And third is, you should be an expert in that particular field of activity. And with all that, the 4th condition is, the ego must not be there. And that is the most difficult aspect, because we are so much habituated to it. These 4 come in a different way in this yoga. See how it comes. First is the object of knowledge. What is the object of knowledge? With the knowledge you already have, you have to go to a newer vistas of knowledge or higher knowledge. Can you understand the difference between these two? Newer vistas of knowledge is a lateral expansion. Higher vistas means ascending levels of consciousness. So the object of yoga of knowledge is 2. One is expansion of your knowledge, and the other is ascension of your knowledge. That is what he meant by the suprasensuous and supramental means and faculties. Next. Now, to understand the real knowledge, you should attain a state of nirvana. And when we say a state of nirvana, don't think we are using a Buddhist word. We are trying to use a level of consciousness where for you the world does not exist. What is known as the nihil, a nothingness. It is not nothing, it is a nothingness. And we use it as samadhi. Next. Action is permissible only in the first stages of the search in order to purify the seeker. And now, the difference between the karma yoga and jnana yoga is, in karma yoga, you do works with a particular state of mind. But in jnana yoga, you are not supposed to work at all. You are not permitted to work. You are just a silent watcher of your own thoughts, where after some time even the thoughts also go. This is the object and aim to which you should go. Clear? No difficulty? Next. The pure jnana yoga comes by the intellect, although it ends in the transcendence of the intellect and its workings. So with intellect we sit and say, yes, I am looking at the thoughts, I am looking at the thoughts, this thought is egoistic, this is, I am not supposed to think, this is not in tune with what I have read and the theory, and you go on thinking, you are utilizing the thoughts. But actually what should happen is, you should transcend the thoughts. And when you transcend the thought, because you don't have the Vijnanamaya Kosha, or the Vijnanamaya Purusha, you go into nothingness. But in that nothingness, slowly the Vijnanamaya Purusha forms its nucleus, even though you are not aware of it. Next. Next. Thought is not perfect in our bodies. We are not able to think correctly. Right knowledge is not yet for us. Truth consciousness is not yet for us. Therefore, any thought that comes to you, even though you may feel that it is something very great and magnificent, be careful that it's still of a lower nature. You may receive many orders or divinations. The world is full of so many proclaimed prophets because they don't understand the true nature of thought. Next. Next. Yeah, back. Now, these things which we are seeing, this is very, very important. When I say these things, I mean these things. This one, or a part of the saliva coming out of my mouth. Anything is a language, a notation, a hieroglyph, and a system of symbols, not themselves the deepest, truest sense of the things they intimate, but they intimate something truth, because everything comes from the truth conscious. This is the basis of the yoga of knowledge. Whatever you see must have a basis in the truth conscious, even though you are not aware of it, because it is a language, a notation, a hieroglyphic, a system of symbols, not themselves the deepest, truest sense of the things they intimate. This background, a table. My Guruji used to tell about the shoes. He says, the world has 4 levels. Para Pashyanti, Madhyama Vaikhari. You know about these things? He used to say that the shoe I am wearing is my shoe. That is Vaikhari shoe. The shoes I see there are Madhyama. That means I can remove this shoe and wear that shoe. Is it not? That is Madhyama shoe. Pashyanti shoe, I can imagine in the Bata showroom the shoe was like that. In the Greek culture, they used to wear shoes like that. In future, maybe we may have something like that shoe which works like a helicopter, so that the transportation may become easy. It may happen, is it not? The future one, the Pashyanti. And then what is the principle? The para level is protection of the feet. The 4 levels. So if a shoe can have a 4 levels, your body also must be having 4 levels, and why can't you understand and try it? That is what this statement is in Jnana Yoga. You try to understand the 4 levels. Next. This, wherever you find this colored slide, concentrate on it. The liberated knower. A liberated knower is one who is in the samadhi state. He is liberated from the 3 lower principles. Acts in the world not less than the bound soul. Now, this is where the real problem comes. Many people give marks by the actions they see in the sadhu. Do you know he has not taken food since 12 years? And I think stone also does not take any food. So our criterion of testing a man is something external. But how a doctor or a scientist also eats food, may go to a movie, but just because he is going to a movie or going to a picture or going to a party or eating something else which you don't eat, does not make you a doctor if you follow those external actions. Am I clear? You are not supposed to follow the external actions. You follow the internal knowledge of a doctor or a scientist. And a doctor is a doctor even when he is eating food, even when he is sleeping, even when he is a doctor. Similarly, a yogi is a yogi whether he is sarvakrut, doing all actions, or not doing all actions. It is his yoga of knowledge. The yoga means higher level of evolution he has attained through knowledge. Next. The status of knowledge. Next. The status of knowledge is a two-pronged. One is the outer being knowledge, the knowledge we gather from the 5 senses, and then when it tries to turn the eye inwards. So all yoga is not looking outward. All yoga is the eye going inward.